Alright everybody, welcome back to another live stream. We've had a localized tornado outbreak ongoing for a few hours now across portions of the Midwest. Right now we do have a tornado warning in effect for northeastern Worth County and north central Iowa, so if you are included in this tornado warning, seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and away from windows. Right now we do have some tight rotation northeast of Beau Lawn, Iowa, so again, if you're in that area, we need you to seek shelter. We also have a couple of ongoing tornado warnings in South Carolina from the remnants of Tropical Storm Debbie here, just Tropical Storm Debbie in general, I guess not technically the remnants, and we have ourselves some strong rotation near Edisto Beach, so if you're in this area, seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and away from windows. That very well could be a water spout sweeping on a shore right now, which is not good, so hopefully we see that occlude over the next several minutes, but if we don't, we could have ourselves a serious problem. And then we also have another tornado warning in effect here for the kind of the Laurel Bay area, but this rotation has died out since the warning has been issued, okay? So we have got to watch these pop-up areas of rotation very quickly. Like I mentioned, we've had a few devastating tornadoes actually today rip through portions of the Midwest. As you can see, we have tornado reports from the St. James, Minnesota area. We have a tornado report from Wells, as well as tree damage going along with that. And we do have a couple of reports of a tornado on the ground near Conger, Minnesota. And then we also had a tornado down along the Illinois-Wisconsin state line. And with that with the Emmons tornado, we do have several trees down reported as well. I guess that's kind of in between Conger and Emmers there. But anyway, we have got to watch these little areas of rotation very closely because they have proved several times today, they've proved themselves, all right? They have been causing tornado after tornado after tornado, so we got to watch this very closely here. I'm not sure exactly how many tornadoes we've had so far, but I believe it's enough to be considered for being a tornado outbreak potentially, so I'll have to look into that. But again, right now, we need to focus on the current, all right? We need to talk about what's going on and who's in the path next, all right? So we do have a tornado watch in effect still for portions of southeastern Minnesota, southwest Wisconsin, and northeastern Iowa, mainly for the threat of a couple of brief spin-up tornadoes possible, mainly across northeastern Iowa, I would say, but also for the risk of some damaging winds that we still run here across portions of Minnesota right now. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect going out for northwestern Indiana, northern Illinois, and southern Wisconsin. Again, we did kind of have a tornado earlier on the Wisconsin-Illinois state line up here. If we go and play this back, let's see if we can find it. I'm not sure exactly where it was, but I did see that we did have a brief tornado in this area. Was this it? Was this a debris signature? Because if it was, that was a decent-sized tornado, actually. Let's check it out. Yeah, that was definitely the tornado. So yeah, we did have a tornado that ripped through the northern portion, or the northeast portion of Rock Grove, Illinois, it looks like, which is interesting. So yeah, I mean, we've had some, decent-sized tornadoes today, for sure. Let's go back over to South Carolina really quickly. Let's check out the one in the Edisto Beach area. Yeah, do we have a debris signature with that? No. Okay. Luckily, it looks like the rotation weakened on the most recent scan here as it was sweeping onto shore. But we still got a few more of these tornadic circulations out here that could be producing water spouts that, again, could sweep onto shore here in the Edisto Beach area, so don't let your guard down yet. Let's go back up to Iowa here. So again, this tornado warning going out for the Northwood area. Right now, our rotation is northeast of Beau Lawn. Definitely some strong rotation there, I would say, heading off to the east-northeast. Eventually, this will be approaching Carpenter and St. Ansgar, so expect a tornado warning here within the coming minutes to be possible. So don't let the emergency alert freak you out if it pops up on your phone or on your TV or the radio or whatever. Do not be surprised. Don't be scared, though. Be prepared. So, let me bring up stream chat here. Let me know what's happened, guys, because, again, I know we had a few tornadoes in the Midwest, but I don't know exactly how many, and I'm not sure exactly how strong they were, except for the Illinois one. Just give me 1 second here. Gotta Gotta bring up my channel. Alrighty. So what's been going on, chat? What have I missed? Yeah, I saw that we had some tornadoes in Minnesota. What's up, Gooseman? Let's go back over to Iowa here. Again, this Midwestern Motorstorm's really proved itself today. Of course, one of the days where I wasn't going to be able to go live, which is just great. Okay, so again, that tornado, or the rotation there, sweeping into Carpenter now. That rotation that is potentially producing a ongoing tornado. So again, seek shelter immediately in that area. Carpenter, I know you're not in the warning yet, but if this is producing a tornado, you need to go. I mean, you've got seconds. This is going to go right into Carpenter, so. Again, this is in, north central Iowa. Again, look at that. 72 against 35. Strong rotation. So, still have that 5% risk going out for parts of the Midwest here. Again, the tightest rotation that we have right now is probably this one entering Carpenter, Iowa, where we have a possible tornado. Yeah, it looks like the strongest tornado we've had so far today was actually in Illinois. Near the Rock Grove area. We had a debris signature and everything. A pretty deep debris signature as well. It was pretty big. It was not PDS, but it's probably a decision they had to make whether or not they wanted it to go PDS. National Weather Service is in Janesville and Chicago, I think it is. Or is it Davenport? Whatever. They probably had some tough decisions. Okay. So, let's see here. Again, we still have significant power outages now in both Florida and Georgia. Obviously, after Hurricane Debbie ripped through 100% of Jefferson County without power, except for 2 customers there, it looks like. Tornado down in South Carolina, is there really? I was just about to look at that storm. Is it on our tornado warning storm? Oh, is that a debris signature? Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a debris signature. How did I not see that last scan? I looked. I guess that was 2 scans ago. Okay, we have a tornado on the ground, or at least we did as of a couple of minutes ago. Give me 1 second here. So we have a tornado on the ground in South Carolina, heading for Pine Landing and Seabrook. Thank you, Kevin. Right over the Big Bay Creek. Give me just a second here, guys. Tornado on the ground in South Carolina. Okay. So, again, we had at least as of a couple minutes ago, we had a tornado on the ground. And then now we've got debris fallout at the very least. But we definitely had a tornado near Edisto Beach, South Carolina. And again, that is a decent debris signature there. So again, what we're looking at here is debris being lofted into the atmosphere by a tornado. Those blues, those greens that are reflecting back into the radar. That's what those are right there. So again, we had a big debris ball here, it looks like, with our tornado. Over a mile wide. So, again, if you're just now tuning in, we did just have a tornado on the ground in South Carolina. It could still be on the ground, but even if it's not, there's still debris fallout. So seek shelter immediately if you are included in this tornado warning. Again, the tornado would be right over the Big Bay Creek area. I know my face is really red, so I turned off the hurricane cone. Wow. Ooh, that's good on the eyes. Okay. So let's see here. Do we still have a debris signature? We noticed this a little bit late here. Let's check it out. The debris signature would be in there on this next scan here if we still have a tornado. It's rare that the velocities update before the correlation coefficient and the reflectivity. Okay. And there we go. They did officially update this warning. So we have a tornado on the ground. This is not good in a populated area of South Carolina here. This is north of Edisto Beach, right over the Big Bay Creek, heading for Pine Landing. If you're in Pine Landing or Bennett's Point, you need to get to your safe spot immediately. Run, do not walk. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground, throwing debris into the atmosphere thousands of feet, reflecting back onto the radar here. And that, I think we still have a debris signature there. Oh, wait. No, because I don't know. It doesn't look like we do, but the National Weather Service still has the observed tag on this here. So again, we need to treat it like it's a tornado on the ground. And we do have a tornado warning now in Minnesota, which I did not notice. What in the world? So tornado warning now going out. I wish my alerts were working. This is a bad time for them to not work. But tornado warning out for southeastern Mower and southwestern Fillmore counties in southeastern Minnesota. Wow, so rotation there west-northwest of Ostrander, looking pretty intense. So seek shelter immediately in that tornado warning. That's right along the Minnesota-Iowa state line, and we no longer have a tornado warning in Iowa. Okay. So let's go back down to South Carolina. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we did just moments ago have a tornado on the ground in South Carolina near Edisto Beach, and it looks to not be on the ground anymore, but we need you to be in that tornado safe spot just in case. If you're in Bennett's Point, Pine Landing, Fenwick, Ashipu Siding, and Wiggins. Again, this is a storm that previously produced a tornado. Could still have sticks or something falling out of the sky, maybe a little bit of debris fall out there. But again, we're also watching a spot here in Minnesota now for this strong rotation. Actually, maybe this area of rotation that they tornado warned it for. We kind of have a couple spots of rotation here, guys. So this could definitely produce a tornado, and it could do it without us noticing because we're very far away from the radar site, so it would be hard to notice if there were a debris signature. So we may not know if this touches down, so just get to your safe spot for safety measures here in, again, Ostrander, Leroy, and Etna. Again, we got multiple spots of rotation here. So anywhere in this warning, we need you to get to that safe spot. What's up, Mr. Storm? Again, if you're not tuning in, we did it just moments ago. Have a tornado on the ground in South Carolina with a debris signature and everything. It went through an area where people were. Don't know if it's a super populated area, but it looks like it is, unfortunately. This is terrible. Again, it went right through this whole area where there are a ton of houses. Again, we had a debris signature. It almost looks like that's still a debris signature, but I don't think it is. At the very least, minutes ago, we did have a tornado on the ground over Big Bay Creek with a noticeable debris signature. Again, it went right through the north side of Edisto Beach here. And it did hit homes. It did. It definitely did. So let's go back up to Minnesota. Again, we have, I think we're at a tornado outbreak at this point, guys. But again, strong rotation trying to develop here with our storm in Minnesota. So seek shelter immediately. Yeah, we're definitely at a tornado outbreak. This tornado warning does include the south side of Spring Valley, so if you're on the south side of town, we want you to shelter. Again, we have multiple spots of rotation here. I'd be concerned about the northern one for your area, but again, the southern one looks a bit more intense, and that could be approaching Cherry Grove, Etna, and Ostrander, as well as Leroy over the next several minutes. So there we go. Again, tornado just to the southwest of Charleston, South Carolina did just occur. If you're just now joining us. We have an observed tornado warning in South Carolina, and we have a radar-indicated tornado warning in Minnesota. And, again, our one in Minnesota looking pretty concerning now with multiple spots of rotation near Ostrander. We need you to seek shelter. We've definitely been in this area before. We've talked about this several times. I remember, because we had a strong tornado, or what looked to be a strong tornado on radar in this area before. We also may have some rotation trying to develop near St. Ansgar again, so I know you guys were just under a tornado warning, but don't let your guard down. You could see something else here in a few minutes, so we'll wait to see what that does, but right now you're fine. You're under a severe thunderstorm warning, though, so make sure you're not going outside, obviously. It's going to be torrential for the next several minutes. Also, a ton of lightning and some wind, most likely associated with that storm as well. Maybe even just a little bit of small hail, but I doubt it. Not really a massive hailstorm. None of these in the Midwest really are, and we weren't expecting them to be, especially not after dark. Okay, so those areas of rotation are dying out slowly but surely, it looks like. We won't completely ignore them because they could recycle, but for right now, I think we can let our guard down on those a little bit. Stay in your safe spot, though, if you're out there. We want you to do that for sure. Again, we got a few more areas of rotation here sweeping onto shore from Tropical Storm Debbie. Again, I mean, Tropical Storm Debbie is weak at this point, guys. 45 mile per hour sustained winds. But still, we are seeing numerous tornadoes and waterspouts right now on the South Carolina coast here. Close to the Georgia coast as well. So, again, we want you guys to take this as seriously as possible. Again, I know the area rotation and previous tornado has passed you at Disto Beach, but do not let your guard down. I think that we could see another tornado with this spot of rotation here. It's definitely not out of the question. If a waterspout comes on shore, obviously that would be bad. And that's something we're kind of thinking is a possibility here. So, and we also have a few severe thunderstorm warnings all centered across portions of Minnesota. Again, tornado warning now in Minnesota for portions of southeastern Moore and southwestern Fillmore counties. In southeastern Minnesota. Spring Valley, again, south side, we're going to ask you to shelter, but the rest of town is fine. Ostrander, shelter. Leroy, shelter. Etna, shelter. Cherry Grove, shelter. But a lot of these other spots are probably fine in the immediate future here. But stay tuned for more updates because that could definitely change over time. Okay, so there you go. There's the tornado report. So Colton County emergency manager reported a tornado sighted on 101 Palmetto Boulevard. Also multiple trees down, power lines down, debris on roadways, and flooded roadways. So we probably just had an EF1 tornado. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. This is an awful spot for it to hit. It's just quite unfortunate, really. Okay. So, we'll keep watching this storm here. By the way, if you're in this area, you're also under a considerable flash flood warning. That's because you have already got, over half a foot of rain at spots here in this area, which is absurd considering the system's not even really in South Carolina yet. Debbie's really still in Georgia. But it is going to be absolutely devastating whenever the final rain totals are in. Yeah, I know those homes or buildings must be having a rough time. Again, they just got directly hit by a tornado. And it wasn't a weak little baby tornado either. It was a decent-sized one, it seems like. Probably around the strength of the Buffalo tornado that we had today, but we don't know exactly how strong that one was either, so I probably shouldn't say that. Okay, rotation again near Leroy, still definitely there. Again, get to your safe spot. This is coming into town on the north side near 775th Avenue. Okay. So we'll keep watch to see if another debris signature pops up here, but the rotation is done at this point. But again, we do have more sweeping onto shore here, so they may just honestly keep this tornado warning. I personally think they should. So we have another area of rotation right over a Disto Beach right now to the north. Yeah, I did see we had some tornadoes in Minnesota, Illinois, and Wisconsin. And again, we just had one in South Carolina here. Okay. And again, Debbie, as of right now, we're thinking is going to ride up the kind of southern and eastern portions of Georgia right now. And eventually it will enter its way back into the Atlantic and make a secondary landfall somewhere in the Carolinas here right now, it looks like. Again, that would be in a few days that that happens, but during that time, we're going to see an absolute insane amount of rainfall in portions of Georgia and South Carolina, and even North Carolina and Florida. Again, Florida's kind of done probably for the most part, but unless you're in extreme northeastern Florida, like in the Jacksonville area, you may still get a little bit more rain perhaps. So again, possible tornado here northeast of Leroy, Minnesota. Rotation looks interesting to say the least. It seems to be strengthening again, so. Might have had a fire tornado near Mineral, California an hour or two ago. That's honestly not surprising, unfortunately. That should be surprising. That should be shocking, but unfortunately it's not. Because, I mean, we have had devastating wildfires out west. We already had a fire tornado somewhere else in California. But it's really unfortunate what they're going through. What everybody is going through with that just got hit by Debbie. I mean, there's so many spots right now that we have to pray for, guys. It almost looked like we had a debris signature a scan ago. Like, hear me out, okay? I know it's not a debris signature, but it like matches up on the correlation coefficient perfectly with where the velocity couplet was. Perfectly. Okay, so back to South Carolina here. Again, some more rotation sweeping on ashore. Again, we'd mainly be watching kind of this general area along the coast here. We don't have a tornado confirmed as of right now, but they still have the observed warning on this one in South Carolina. But we don't believe we have a tornado on the ground. Oh, we're talking about Minnesota. I don't think it was a CC drop. Because you have to understand, that would have to be a very strong tornado for us to be able to see that, because we were pretty far away. It's possible. I don't think it was, though. I think it was contamination. It could have been a CC, honestly, though. Wouldn't shock me. Okay, so again, very strong water spout potentially right now, trying to develop off the coast of South Carolina. By the time it really gets its act together, it could be approaching land, so we gotta hope that this doesn't, you know, cause problems. Again, if I highlight you in the red here, areas along the coast, you're in the danger zone. What I mean by danger zone is there's a good chance that over the next several minutes we see a area of rotation sweep onto your beach that could produce a tornado. You may be under a tornado warning. So please stay weather aware if you are in this red shaded area right along the coast here. And I'd include Charleston, South Carolina in that, definitely. I know you've already had some serious problems today, but you could even get a tornado warning. I don't think you've had a tornado warning yet. I know Savannah, Georgia's had a couple, but I may just start using the red to circle on Radar Omega permanently. It stands out more, you know? It makes people pay attention more. So, let's see here. Let's go back up to Minnesota just briefly. I really doubt we're going to have anything, though. Yeah, maybe some sort of rotation, broad rotation left there, but I wouldn't be too concerned about it at this point. Stay in your safe spot, obviously, but maybe something trying to happen, though, southeast of Leroy at this point. We may see the Chester area see something in terms of rotation. So if you're in Chester, look out for that. You're not under the tornado warning, technically, but, I mean, you might as well be. Again, that's in Iowa. Either way, you're going to get hit with a big pocket of damage and winds here in the next few minutes. Alrighty. So, again, I'll kind of circle all these areas of rotation. Jim Cantori said South Carolina mayor has closed roads before the storm due to flooding. That's crazy. So again, all these are broad, at least broad spots of rotation. Again, Hilton Head Island, Port Royal, the other Port Royal, Disto Beach. I'd be watching out if I'm in this area over the next several hours, even, I'd say. If you're planning on going to bed, then just make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts on hand, and you'll be alright. Again, we'll be live here for a little bit at least. Alright. So again, very weak pocket of rotation, sweeping onto Disto Beach soon once again. Just on the edge there. Again, this area of rotation is, I think, probably our next big concerning one. It's strengthening. So, Land's End, Port Royal, be looking out for this. We do have some rotation heading your way. I imagine this would get a tornado warning here in the next several minutes. So, don't let the alert scare you. But, you know, go to your safe spots if that alert does end up coming. Or, you know, if we see a tornado on radar. But yeah, at this point, the Edisto area, Edisto Beach, I'd mainly just be concerned of a very damaging wind threat and torrential rainfall threat for you. I doubt you're going to see any more tornadoes tonight, at least for the next several hours here. I think the next thing Edisto Beach would have to watch out for would be this. But let's see here. This is still a good, 45 minutes away. It has time to weaken out. And even if it doesn't, it's not super strong already to begin with. So, again, I'd be concerned about this. But that's about it. Really. Yeah, let's kind of fix that. Let's quad box, because why not? There we go. So again, we're quad boxing on this area of rotation right now. Change this over the reflectivity. Yeah, we do have some sort of hook, like donut shape going on here. Again, we got a double rotation off the coast coming at you. Yeah, that's kind of what we're covering right now. We're covering rotations off the coast of South Carolina and Georgia, sweeping onto shore here. Again, mainly watching the Port Royal area at the moment in South Carolina, I believe this is. But, yeah, definitely watch out for your area, too. We'll try to keep you posted. Okay, so that hook is still hooking. No CC drop, obviously, because we're not onto land yet, but I do think that this will get a tornado warning within the next several minutes here, if not next several seconds even. But so again, this is where your main area of rotation would be. So, these rotations, it's interesting. They seem to be on a weakening trend, but they may have one last burst of potential here. So I, stay in my, or get ready to still go in my safe spot. I could still expect a tornado warning here. I'm so sorry I'm so low energy tonight, guys. I have had a long day, but it's all good. It hasn't been a bad day. It's just been a long day, So again, a couple areas of rotation there. The main one we'd be watching at this point would be the one to the left here. And we do now have a tornado warning for Howard County, Iowa. We're going to quad box the whole time. Okay, let's stop. So, yeah, that's for the same area rotation here, right along the Minnesota-Iowa state line. So, like I said, Chester, you might as well treat yourself like you're in the tornado warning. Now you are in the tornado warning. So, Chester, Lime Springs, Bonaire, and Mill get your safe spot. National Weather Service in La Crosse has issued a tornado warning. Wow, last scan, that was a really menacing area of rotation, huh? Wow, that was, seriously, guys, that is pretty strong. I mean, the winds going away from the radar weren't super strong, but the winds going towards the radar, I mean, that could have very well could have produced a strong tornado, but luckily it doesn't look like it did. But it may just be we can't see a debris signature because there's nothing out here for it to pick up. That's a real chance. I mean, we are out, again, southern Minnesota, not a super densely populated area. So, that's good, but I'm just saying we may have had a tornado, and we didn't even know it. Okay. We need to change the stream title here. So again, if you're just not tuning in, we are watching tornado warnings across portions of across portions of Minnesota, Iowa, and South Carolina. Kind of a ragtag group of states there, but those are the spots we're watching. By the way, I didn't even notice this, but we do have an area of rotation near Palmetto Dunes, and there we go. New tornado warning has just been issued now. That's going out for Beaufort County. Portions of Beaufort County. This does not include downtown Beaufort, but it does include Port Royal back down towards the Palmetto Dunes. So get to your safe spot immediately if you're in this area. We got multiple areas of rotation. So, again, it doesn't matter where you're at in this polygon. You need to get to shelter. Again, we have 3 spots of rotation to watch. We are now at 4 tornado warnings here. A couple of them will expire here in a few minutes, and they're probably not going to be reissued. But for the brief period of time, we are on 4 tornado warnings. So yeah, just high winds at this point coming on to the Edisto Island area, Edisto Beach, Seabrook Island. And these rotations are looking a little weaker as well, so that's good news. Again, broad rotation near Palmetto Dunes and Pilton Head Plantation. Got a hook echo and everything, so I think if this cell was a little more discreet, if it didn't have this cell merger, it May have already produced a water spout or a tornado by now, quite possibly. So let's check up on Iowa and Minnesota here. Nothing too crazy. Alright, see you later, Storm Chaser 575. Stay safe. Obviously, you're gonna get a lot of rain, so I'll be praying for you. Just watch out. Yeah, that's probably the best decision, to sleep downstairs at this point. Yeah, that's insane. 20 inches of rain is crazy. See ya. We're talking about some spots getting up to 30 inches, though. And again, tack on the additional storm surge, that's could be, up to 4 feet. I mean, there are legitimately spots that could have, 70 inches of water. Now, that would be very, very high end, and that would be a one-spot occurrence, most likely. But 70 to 80 inches of water would technically be the forecast if we had 4 feet of storm surge as well as 30 inches of rain. And again, those are the tippity tops of those two potentials, so it's unlikely that those will both happen in the same spot. But if they did, that would create a historic scenario where we have, enough, 5 to 6 feet of water, guys. The difference between the rain and the storm surge, though, is that the rain can go more inland, obviously. Obviously, the storm surge would just be along the immediate coastline, but the rain, the 20 to 30 inches, could be a little bit further inland. So spots that aren't used to being, hit by storm surge would have to deal with enough rain to make it feel like it's storm surge, Additionally, areas, even if they aren't flood prone, would get majorly washed out. Again, we already have law-reported flash flooding across portions of Bullock, Candler, Effingham, Jenkins, Screven, Tatnall, Beaufort, Hampton, and Jasper counties in South Carolina. Or in Georgia, rather. No, that's in South Carolina. Sorry. Okay. So, we do have reports of that tornado that touched down a little bit ago. Once again, Charleston County Consolidated Dispatch relayed a report of a sighted tornado touchdown on Outback Lane off Palmetto Road on Edisto Island. Numerous trees downed. Again, that's according to a 911 call center. So again, that was a decently strength tornado there that we were dealing with, it seems. Again, we have reports of debris in the road, trees and power lines downed. Not good. Especially when that's in a populated area. Went right over Edisto Beach there. So we still got some rotation here approaching Litkey Mill and Lime Springs to watch out for. It's also going to be going near Cresco eventually. As well as Florenceville and Bonaire to the southeast of Chester. But yeah. So, again, we are dealing with some rough times. I mean, we have had a tornado outbreak, a hurricane landfall in the same day. That just doesn't happen, But it does today, apparently. Alrighty. So again, if you're just now tuning in, make sure to like the stream. Help spread the word out to more people. We are covering Tropical Storm Debbie, as well as an ongoing tornado outbreak. What's going on here? We may have a tornado on the ground. Yeah, in fact, we definitely have a tornado on the ground. This is definitely a debris signature. There's no doubt about it. I think we had another brief tornado. We may have another tornado on the ground in Edisto Beach. Edisto Beach may have just taken 2 hits from a tornado. You need to get to your safe spot if you're in Seabrook or Bonnett's Point. Just as a precautionary measure, again, we need to assume that this is a tornado. The rotation in that spot looks very weak, but it is there. And again, whenever we have a debris signature with that, that is basically enough to confirm that we have an ongoing tornado in 99% of situations. Now, again, this may be the one percent of situations that we have where that's not a tornado, but I think that's a very high chance that that was an unworn tornadic debris signature. It's kind of spreading out there. It makes me question if that's a debris signature or not, but I think it is. I don't know. What do you guys think? I could go either way. I mean, it looks like a debris signature, but again, there's not much rotation to match it up with, It's interesting. But we may have just had another tornado go through Edisto Beach. I don't know. I'd say it's a 40% chance. Again, I wish I wish we had a more clear picture on the velocities. Like, I wish that it was no rotation at all, because then we would know that it wasn't a debris signature. Or, I would even rather have it be obvious rotation, because then at least we would know that we just had that tornado. But we may have just had another tornado rip through the same spot that just had one a few minutes ago in South Carolina here near Edisto Beach. Again, we have what looks to be a tornadic debris signature, but we can't confirm it. And it doesn't look like one really now, but if we play it back a couple of scans, that looks like a debris signature. It did just kind of pop up out of nowhere, which is a little suspicious. Let's check things out. Let's match it up to the reflectivity. I don't know. Yeah, we're going to treat that like that is a tornado, though. So get to your safe spot in Seabrook. Again, at the very least, there's a little bit of rotation and also some damaging winds. What do you lose if you seek shelter? Nothing. But you could lose everything if you don't seek shelter. And some rotation pockets here trying to develop. We don't even have a tornado warning anymore on the Minnesota side of the state line. It expired a while ago, but... Of course, as soon as I switch radars, that other one gets an update. Ooh. See, now it looks like there is rotation. Is that the same pocket, though, or not? I don't know. It's not. Yeah, I don't think that is a debris signature, actually. False alarm, everybody. That's my bad. Change the title back here. Alrighty. So... check things out here in Iowa. Yeah, I'm not seeing much rotation. Like some brief spots. Stay in your safe spot just in case anything does kind of redevelop, but this thing here near Lime Springs would be the main thing that I'd be concerned about. But anyway, I think we're going to end off the live stream here. I do want to thank you all for tuning in. Again, it's been a very active day. I'm sorry I wasn't live for most of it, but what can you do? So thank you all for tuning in. We'll be live again tomorrow. Tomorrow we've actually got an interesting severe weather event, to say the least, that we're expecting. We are expecting to have a 2% risk for tornadoes here across portions of the Ohio Valley and a 2% risk on the southeast coast. So make sure to tune in, and I'll see you guys in the next one.